Welcome to Bible Logos. I'm Laura Worcester, your broadcast host. Today I'm excited to bring you part 4 of Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. Please do me a favor, like and share this message on social media with your friends and family. All right, let's get to the word. Here's part 4 of Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing.
Jesus' response to her was that, do you know who I am? He said, I am the resurrection and I am the life. Not do I just have access to it, not just can I tell you a thing or two about it, but that's who I am. Do we have any believers in the house today? God can resurrect dead things in your life, things that you gave up on, things that you thought were gone forever, things that you ain't even looking for anymore. God is the resurrection and he is the life. And so she said, well, yeah, Lord, I know. And then she ran away because she was feeling a little pressure. Later on in this account, the Bible gives us to know that Jesus says to them, take away the stone. Martha's response was, but Jesus, Lord, he's been there all these days now. He stinks. Now, she said she knew who he was. 5 minutes ago, she said she knew who he was. But her account here is that it's too late. I just have to live with this. I just have to deal with this. Lord, you had a chance to heal my body, but you didn't do it. So I'm just going to live with this sickness and disease. Now I'm just going to get comfortable with it. Lord, you had a chance to do things for me when I was younger, but now I'm too old for you to do it. So I'll just live with it. I'll just settle for it. I'll just deal with it. Jesus is the resurrection. Look at somebody and tell me it's never too late. As long as you got breath in your body, it's not too late. He says, take away the stone. So what we see here is that Martha was engaged in a mental exercise. It wasn't in her heart. So when we talk about how we believe God, but in our heart, we got a backup plan. Yeah. Yes. Van and I had a discussion the other day. We were talking about plan B. If I got a plan B, in case God don't come through, I'm going to let you finish that statement. Mental assent is a chameleon. You all know what a chameleon is? It's a chameleon to faith. It looks like it. It talks like it. It can even act like it, but it's not it. It takes the word of God to show when somebody is really in faith or when they're just in a mental exercise. Over in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12, it says, the word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. If you want to know whether you're really in faith or whether you're just in some type of mental exercise, what does the word of God say about that thing? Because the word of God is your anchor. We start off with belief. Belief is a good thing. We start off with hope. Hope is a good thing. We're not criticizing any of those things. They are the starting point, but they are not the ending point. We are to use those to launch us over into faith. And the way that we get from those things, from the mental exercise over into the faith of God, is by anchoring ourselves into the word of God. Just like you did when you got saved. You got anchored in that word that told you, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you would be saved. You got anchored in that thing and you got locked into that thing and nobody could move you from it. That's how faith works with everything from God. Nobody can move you. You had some missteps after you got saved. Don't you look at me with that lie on your face. You stumbled. You failed. But you got up and said, Lord, forgive me for where I failed. Forgive me for where I stumbled. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank God I'm saved. You didn't always look saved after you came to the altar and confessed with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. You was in the nightclub the next night. But even though you didn't always look saved, you knew down in your heart, God has wrecked a chain down in my heart. Hallelujah. And even though I've misstepped, and even though I've fallen short, and even though I've missed the mark, I'm still saved. Thank God I'm saved. It's a conviction. And that's the way we are to be convicted by everything that God promises us. Everything that we believe God for, everything that His Word tells us requires that conviction. Stop arguing with God. Biblical faith is a conviction that the Word of God is true. And you can see biblical faith in operation in the person's life. You can see if you're hiding, if you're ashamed, you are not in biblical faith. And let me just drop this in here. The reason why I say biblical faith and draw distinctions is because there's all kind of faith. It took faith for you to walk into this church today and sit down in that chair and believe that it wasn't going to break under you. That took faith. It took faith for you to get in your car and believe that you were going to make it to church today without getting into an accident. So there's all kinds of faith. I'm not talking about all kinds of faith. I'm talking about Hebrews 11:1 faith, which is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Welcome back. You do not want to miss the conclusion tomorrow of the message, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. Please don't forget to like and share this message with your friends and family. I'm Laura Worcester, and I want you to remember that the sower sows the word, and therefore it is with the same measure you meet that it shall be measured unto you again.